get this feeling on the show, palagi pong bitin, diba? At the end of a 30-minute show, it's always like parang that's it. We're just scraping off the covers, and now as we delve deeper, parang okay, time's up. But you know, if you're just joining us today, we're talking about our measures of success, and this is very important, especially for our community. Kasi po, mahirap ang ekonomiya ngayon, and do we still go out there and still keep accumulating these status purchases without regard for what's really important in life?
Yes, and we go back to what is effective decision-making skills.
Okay.
We have to look at that, and the decision that you have to make, and part of that process of making an effective decision is saying, okay, if I make this decision, what will it impact? How will it affect me now and in the future? So if you're going to be in debt because you want to buy that Porsche or you want to buy that, you know, brand.
Because also at the same time, you show people that you have all these branded things, you have a nice house, you drive a nice car, but you're in debt, and sooner or later you file bankruptcy.
Yes. Now the difference though is because it is what we would call a countrywide or maybe even a worldwide occurrence, there is some freedom that a lot of people are saying, oh sige, pwede na rin akong hindi makikeep up with the Jonases kasi lahat naman ng tao nag-austerity program.
Ah, okay. Does that have anything to do with you changing cars?
Yeah, well, just more so really choosing to focus on a legacy or building a legacy because, you know, growing up, well, my mom raised me, but, you know, my father was a very successful heart surgeon. He had founded the first Filipino-owned bank in the United States, you know, lived in Hancock Park Mansion, all that stuff. And he had a very large collection of Porsches and all these things. But, you know, when he got sick and he was living above his means, by the time he had passed away, he didn't have a legacy. He didn't leave anything behind for his children and things like that. And that really had an impact to me because, you know, to be a good husband and a good father and a good family person eventually, I want to really be able to set myself up to leave a legacy, and part of that was just taking on mentors who have taught me the real principles of wealth, to live below your means and to live simply and things like that.
Right. We were talking about this, Carol, not too long ago also. The way we are individually is a product of the way we are as a community. And you mentioned something about how maybe also we like these things because it's compensating for something. Can you try to touch on that a little bit?
I've been observing and talking to my students, and I've been thinking about this compensatory narratives of how not just a measure of success, but how we buy things to fill a need. And what are those needs? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. And I think it has to do with our national identity. We are not here yet. So we make up for it by buying all these individual goods that show some kind of success. We're into supporting Manny Pacquiao, for example. He's achieved some measure, a large measure of success. So I even have boxing gloves hanging on my
living room.
There's a windshield sa kotse.
Sa kotse, yeah. Pero
because I'm very proud of that, ganon. Is that compensatory consumption? Am I, you know, I mean, these are things that I think about on a daily basis when I see our kababayan. What are we buying? How are we behaving?
Right. And could it also be like defense mechanism? Like you said, you know, here, especially for Filipino immigrants, we're not considered first-class citizen. So parang we try to amass to show people that we can afford, we're just as good as you.
Right.
I guess last 2 minutes on the show, last words from you.
And it goes back to what you would like for your personal measure of success and how you got there. And for all of these things that you say that we do things to fill, let's say, a need or a void in us, or as you say, what you would like to you know, give to your kids, I think it really boils down to when you're really by yourself, alone, and you consider what is going on with your life. You know, how do you want to be seen? And I think that's where we kind of come up with, you know, how do we stimulate this these thoughts or these discussions of how we as Filipinos want to present ourselves to the world.
Okay, so I guess just wrapping things up now as we wind down the show, we tried to define success today, and so many terms came up and so many thoughts came up: joy, achieving personal goals, priorities, setting yourself, debts, and all that. But really, at the end of the day, you ask yourself this: what will really matter? You know, when you talk about what really matters in life, what will really matter to you? And I think it's something that you can think about and reflect on when there's quiet in your place, when there's peace. So at night before you sleep, think about that.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Sana po kung may natutunan kayo, or like I said, at the very least, sana this show is helping you reflect on what really matters to you in your life. Thank you for joining us. This has been Janelle, so your Kababayan in Los Angeles.